At Thanksgiving dinner, my sister stood up and declared, "We voted. You're not family anymore." The room erupted in cheers. I chuckled quietly and said, "Then I guess you won't be needing this." I set a folder down on the table. The moment she opened it, she burst into a scream. "Before we carve the turkey," Natalie said, standing with that smug, practiced smile of hers, "there's something we need to get straight." The room fell silent. Forks hung midair. My stomach twisted. I knew that tone, the one she used to get me grounded at 14 for a party I never even attended. "We had a family vote," she continued, glancing around like a queen awaiting her crown. "And we've decided you're not family anymore." Silence, then cheers. Cheers. My cousin Laura clapped like she was at a concert. Uncle Mitch raised his glass in a toast. Even my mother, my own mother, laughed and said, "Well, someone had to say it." I sat frozen, staring at my plate. The stuffing was cold, but my blood was boiling. My dad didn't even look at me, just sipped his beer and muttered, "Probably for the best." "Wow," I said, pushing back my chair slowly, "you actually rehearsed this." Natalie's grin widened. "You've been toxic for years. We're just done pretending now." "You're not family," my mother added, grabbing the cranberry sauce as if we were discussing the weather. "It's unanimous." I looked around. No one said a word, not one person. "Good," I said quietly. Then I reached into my bag. "I figured this might happen," I said, pulling out a thick folder and placing it firmly in the middle of the table. The thunk cut through the laughter. Natalie blinked. "What's that?" I smiled, leaned back, and folded my arms. "Why don't you find out?" She grabbed it, ripped it open with that smug smirk of hers, but it vanished after the first page. Her face drained of color. Her eyes scanned page after page. Then she screamed a blood-curdling, horror movie scream. Her chair toppled behind her as she jumped up, slamming the folder shut like it burned her. "You monster," she cried. "You messed up, twisted weirdo." Gasps filled the room. Joel, her husband, snatched the folder and flipped through it. His jaw dropped. He looked at me. "Is this?" I nodded once. "It's all real," I said. "Every word, every receipt, every screenshot." The room went completely silent. You could hear a fork clink in the kitchen. My mother's mouth opened, then closed again like a fish gasping for air. "You thought I wouldn't fight back," I said, standing, "that I'd stay quiet, the doormat, the cash cow. But guess what?" I leaned in, looking Natalie straight in the eye. "Your little show? It's over. Want to know what was in that folder? I'll get to that. But first, you need to understand how we got here. Natalie didn't just wake up one day and decide I wasn't family. That decision was built over years. Brick by brick. Comment by comment. Betrayal by betrayal. I was never the favorite, not even close. Natalie was the star, the golden girl, perfect grades, bright smile, charming as hell. She could lie to someone's face and make them thank her for it. I was quiet, private, didn't crave attention, and they hated that. They mistook my silence for weakness. I moved out at 19, paid for college on my own, worked 2 jobs, never asked for help. Natalie flunked 2 majors, took a finding herself trip to Europe, then married Joel, the human LinkedIn profile in a blazer. The wedding? I paid for half. My parents couldn't afford it but still managed a 2-week cruise right after. I never complained. When they joked I was the family accountant, I kept helping paying for Dad's dental surgery, sending money when Mom said the heat bill was overdue, even covering part of cousin Laura's tuition when she was waitlisted for a scholarship. They said thank you, but with that tone. The one that said, "Of course you'd help, you don't have a family of your own." And maybe that's what broke it. I'm single, no kids, no spouse, no drama, just me, my work, and my dog. To them, that meant I had nothing better to do than bail them out. Natalie treated me like her personal ATM. Joel lost his job? She called me first, just a small loan. Her car broke down? You make 6 figures, what's $2,000? Her kid needed therapy? Guess who got the call? I always helped, always. Because I believed it was family. But help became obligation. Obligation became expectation. Expectation became demand. It started small. Snide jokes at dinner. "Oh, you brought wine, must be nice to afford that. Of course you're early, No kids to slow you down. I wish I could work late and avoid my husband like you do. Then it got worse. You're cold. No wonder you're still alone. You don't know real stress. You don't have a real life. You're just bitter no one needs you. Except they did need me constantly. Financially, quietly, behind closed doors. Then came the text. Natalie, hey, can you co-sign a business loan? Joel and I want to start a wellness cafe. Me, no. Natalie, wow, really? Then the silence. 3 months ago. Since then, the cold shoulder. Mom stopped calling. Dad sent one-word texts. No invite to the last family dinner. Natalie blocked me on social media after posting a story about cutting out toxic people. But I didn't sulk. I pulled out receipts, literal receipts. I keep records, bank transfers, emails, screenshots, dates. I'm not stupid. In 5 years, I'd sent over $78,000 to family. $78,000. $8,000 for Joel's rehab. $2,300 for Natalie's emergency dental work, which was elective veneers. $1,500 for Dad's back surgery. $12,000 to cover Mom's credit card debt. $6,000 for Laura's college move-in. $4,500 for a family emergency that was actually a trip to Cabo. And never once did they offer to pay me back. They just took. And when I stopped giving, suddenly I was the problem. So I made the folder. Inside that folder? Bank transfers, email chains, text messages. Screenshots of Natalie telling her friends I was manipulative just because I said no to co-signing a loan. A full timeline of every major payment I made over 5 years. And for good measure, screenshots of their Facebook and Instagram posts mocking me. Oh, and the one that really sent her over the edge? A private group comment Natalie left, calling me a cash cow with no spine. She had no idea I had access to it. So yeah, that's what she saw when she opened the folder. That's what made her scream. Because Natalie wasn't just caught, she was dismantled. Fact by fact. Line by line. Page by page. And as she unraveled, the rest of the family realized exactly what they'd done. My mom looked like she might pass out. Joel? He stared at one line in particular. $4,200 payment to cover Natalie's credit card used at a hotel in Santa Monica with someone named Alyssa. His voice broke the silence. What is this? I didn't respond. I didn't need to. For once, I wasn't defending myself. I was just showing them the truth. You kept records? My mom finally said, her voice trembling. I turned to her, calm and steady. You never remembered, I said, so someone had to. Natalie was still standing rigid, pale, fists clenched. Her eyes darted between Joel, the folder, and me. This is a violation, she spat. You had no right to. No right? I stood slowly. You just stood up and declared me not family, and everyone clapped. Now you're mad I came prepared? Joel turned another page. What's this about Santa Monica? He asked, his voice tight. Natalie snapped. Don't start. Who's Alyssa? He asked again. Why were you at a hotel for 3 nights, on my credit card? Her silence was louder than any outburst. Okay, wait, my mom interjected, her hands raised like she was controlling traffic. Let's all just calm down, be reasonable. Sure, I said, voice level, let's be reasonable. Let's talk about the time you called me a parasite while cashing the check I sent you. She blinked. That's not fair, we were under stress. No, I said firmly, you were under stress, and I bailed you out, every single time. But the one time I said no, suddenly, I was the problem. That's when my dad finally spoke. You're making this into something bigger than it is. I turned to him, voice low and sharp. You let them do this to me for years. You saw it, heard it, knew it. And you let it happen because it was easier than standing up to them. He didn't deny it. Natalie slammed her hand on the table. You're just bitter no one needs you anymore. I stared her down. Wrong. I'm not bitter. I'm done. She laughed, mean, bitter, defensive. God, you're pathetic. Printing out screenshots, acting like a martyr. You think this makes you the victim? You're just a control freak. No, I said coolly. I just finally realized you only cared about me when I was paying your bills. You chose to help, she screamed. You didn't have to. And yet, I said, stepping forward, you expected it, every time. Until helping became duty. And when I stopped, you voted me out. My voice cracked, not from sadness, but rage. You didn't want a sibling. You wanted a wallet with legs. Joel stood now, still holding the folder. Is this true? He asked her, softly. Natalie didn't answer. For the first time in her life, she had nothing to say. You lied to me, Joel said, about the hotel, the money, about him. You made him sound crazy. I had to, she snapped. He was turning everyone against me. I didn't have to turn anyone, I said. You did that all by yourself. The room fell silent again. Then my mom tried, one more time. Her voice was soft, pleading. Sweetheart. I know we overreacted, but this is still family. Families fight. We can get past this. I shook my head. You're not listening. She blinked. What? I'm not asking for peace. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm telling you, I'm done. Natalie rolled her eyes. Oh please, you've said that before. I met her gaze, cold, final. Not like this. I reached into my coat and pulled out another envelope. What now? My dad groaned. I tossed it onto the table. Joel caught it before it slid off the edge. He opened it, read the first line, and looked up eyes wide. What is this? I answered calmly. Power of attorney for mom? Revoked. Medical proxy? Revoked. Emergency contact? Removed. I've already signed the papers. I am legally and emotionally no longer responsible for any of you. My mother gasped. You're cutting us off? Completely, I said, starting now. Tears filled her eyes. You're being selfish. We made mistakes, but we're still your family. I looked at her, voice soft and firm. No, you're not. I grabbed my coat, turned toward the door, and walked out, leaving behind cold food, stunned silence, and a family stripped bare by the truth. I didn't look back. Not because it didn't hurt. It did. But as I stepped off that porch and into the cold night air, I felt something shift. For the first time in years, I could breathe. I didn't go straight home. I stopped by the lake my dad used to take me to when I was a kid, back when things felt simpler. I sat there for a while, silent. Just me, the water, and the quiet hum of my own thoughts. And for once, no one was pulling at me. No guilt. No demands. No emergencies in disguise. Just peace. The next day, nothing. The one after that, still silence. But on the third day, the messages started. First, mom voicemails, missed calls. You really meant it? We were angry, but we're still your family. I didn't reply. Then Natalie, Joel's filing for divorce. Are you happy? Something is really wrong with you. Then my dad, you went too far. We all said things we regret. Your mother is a wreck. Fix this. I ignored everyone. And you know what? I thought I'd feel guilty. I thought I'd lie awake, wondering if I'd gone too far. But instead, I slept better than I had in years. No more second-guessing texts. No more wondering what crisis would show up at my door. No more being the family's plan B. Just stillness. I started waking up early, going for walks, brewing coffee slowly, like a ritual. I booked long overdue appointments. Dentist, doctor, therapist. Not because I was broken, but because, for once, I was allowed to take care of me. I changed my passwords, closed every joint account, blocked Natalie on everything. It wasn't about revenge anymore. It was about freedom. A week later, I got a message from Laura, my cousin, the one who clapped when they voted me out. I didn't know you paid my tuition. I'm sorry. I just followed the crowd. You were the only one who ever helped me. I didn't respond, but I read it twice. Then, unexpectedly, a message from Joel. I filed the papers. Everything in that folder checked out. She cheated, lied, manipulated, not just you, me too. You did the right thing. I should have left sooner. I wasn't expecting that. But it landed. I applied for a job in another city. Not because I was running, but because I was finally free. No more you should stay close to home. No more who will take care of them if you leave. I started reconnecting with friends I hadn't seen in years, people I drifted away from because family stuff always came first. And the wildest part? Some of them had seen my post on Reddit. They reached out just to say, "We're proud of you." That was brave. No one asked for money. No one guilt me. No one tried to spin it. Just support. Simple, honest, clean. Someone asked, "Don't you regret it?" I thought for a second and said, "I only regret not doing it sooner." I thought that was the end. And in a way, it was. But with people like them, nothing ends cleanly, especially when they start feeling the consequences of your absence. The first few weeks after Thanksgiving were quiet. Beautifully, eerily quiet. No calls, no guilt, just peace. Until Christmas. On December 22nd, I got a text from my mom. Just a picture. Their living room, decked out with stockings and a half-decorated tree. Front and center, a massive empty space where the presents usually sat. "It doesn't feel the same without you," the caption said. "Ellie keeps asking why Uncle isn't coming this year." I stared at it for a long time. No apology, no ownership. Just the same manipulative undertone. "Look what you've done, look who you're hurting." I didn't reply. December 23rd, Natalie tried calling. I let it ring. Then she sent a message. "I know I messed up, but you don't have to punish everyone, just come by for Ellie. She misses you." 2 minutes later. "Also, Mom and Dad are behind on their mortgage. I know you don't care anymore, but the bank called today. Thought you should know." There it was. The ask. Always wrapped in guilt. Always cloaked in fake softness. But it always ended the same way, with a request. I blocked the number. December 24th. A text from Dad. "You made your point, we get it, but enough is enough. We need help, we're still your blood." That night, I sat alone by the fireplace with a glass of wine. Looked around my small apartment, no tree, no noise, just me and the silence they always said would destroy me. For the first time, I was thankful for that silence. But it didn't end there. In January, I got a call from an unknown number. I picked up out of habit. "Is this Daniel?" a man asked. "Yes, who's this?" "Mark, I'm calling on behalf of your father. He mentioned you're the primary executive of the family trust." I froze. "I revoked that role 2 months ago," I said. "It's finalized with the attorney. My name's off everything." He paused. "I see. Your father said he couldn't reach you and asked me to explore options. They're in a bind." Of course they were. The ATM was closed. The safety net gone. Now they were getting creative. I hung up. But the final straw came in February. I got a handwritten envelope in the mail. No return address, but Mom's handwriting, unmistakable. Inside, a letter, 3 pages. Page 1, regret. "We said things in anger. You've always been the strong one. We never realized how much we leaned on you." Page 2, guilt. "Your father's health isn't good. Natalie's alone now. We're worried about Ellie." Page 3, the hook. "We're selling the house but underwater on the mortgage. Just need a little help to get through this. Then never again. Please, Daniel, do it for Dad, do it for family." I sat with the letter, feeling every ounce of what they wanted me to feel, the weight of responsibility, the sting of obligation, the aching need to fix what's broken. Then I folded it, walked to the kitchen, and tossed it in the trash. The truth? They weren't asking for help. They wanted access again. Not me. The version of me who never said no. Who paid silently. Sacrificed silently. Suffered silently. That version of me? He's gone. I'm not their scapegoat anymore. Not their golden goose. Not the duct tape holding a broken house together. I'm done. And the scariest part? For them, I'm doing just fine without them. New job, new city, bigger place, clean slate. I started volunteering on weekends. Not because anyone needed me, because I wanted to. I built a life where no one calls at 11 p.m. to fix a mess they won't own. Where I'm not punished for being independent. Where kindness isn't a bargaining chip. I don't regret helping them. But I do regret how long it took me to stop. Want to know what real peace feels like? It's not being surrounded by family. It's being free from people who only call you family when they need something. Update months later. I didn't expect this post to get attention. Honestly, I just needed to say it to put it somewhere. But I read every comment. To those who said you were brave, they don't deserve you, thank you. I didn't know how much I needed to hear that, until I did. Some asked, but what if they change? Yeah, I asked myself that, too. It's been months now. They didn't change. After I cut them off, after the folder, the screaming, the silence, the letters, I thought maybe someone would get it. That they'd reflect. Say, we're sorry. They didn't. They got quiet. Then strategic. Then desperate. Then ugly again. But me? I got free. Since then, I moved. Got a job that doesn't keep me up at night. Started therapy, the real kind. Where you stop trying to fix everyone else. And finally learn how to sit with yourself. I cook for me now. I sleep better. I go outside more. I don't flinch at phone buzzes. And yeah, sometimes I think about Ellie. About what she's learning. What she'll think is normal. But I also know this. I was the example of someone who finally said enough. A few days ago, another letter from Mom. 3 words, we're still family. No context, no apology, no change. Just the same old hook. For the first time, I felt nothing. No anger, no sadness, just nothing. I threw it away. And made dinner. So here I am. Because this place gave me clarity I never expected. Strangers saw me clearer than my own blood ever did. So here's my question. Did I do the right thing? Cutting them off? Dropping the weight? Saying no and meaning it? Was I too cold? Or was I finally done being the only one holding it all together? I don't know. But I do know this. For the first time in my life, I'm not surviving. I'm living. Thanks for reading. Still listening.